Overhyped books are sometimes books I tend to avoid or just not get to right away because I've been disappointed by overhyped books, or it could be just the hype, or they might not, be the type of books I want to read. But then sometimes an overhyped book ends up being worth the hype. Everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing My Lady Jane by Cynthia Han, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. I've also heard people refer to them as the Lady Janies, but I found out the series itself is called Lady Janies, so I don't know if we're referring to the group of authors here as the Lady Janies or if that's the series. I don't know. You let me know in the comments what you guys found out. So My Lady Jane is one of those books that was very hyped here on BookTube, and I was interested in it, but I wasn't too sure if I would like it. But I found it at a thrift store for 55 cents, and I thought that was a pretty worthwhile investment. And I ended up giving this book 4 stars. I really enjoyed this book, and now I'm going to tell you why. My Lady Jane basically takes Lady Jane Grey, the 9-Day Queen. She was queen in between Henry VIII's son and Mary Bloody Mary. In between that, and then she ended up being dethroned and beheaded. So if you're not aware of that piece of history, that's who Lady Jane Grey is. This takes Lady Jane Grey's history and basically tosses it out the window, throws some magic in it, and a lot of comedy, and you get My Lady Jane. This book was laugh out loud funny. There's so many moments where I was trying not to laugh fully because I was reading this late into the night. The audiobook was hilarious, and I loved the way the narrator did the voices and the characters and the banter and everything, just amplified it through the audiobook. It was just very comedic. I very much enjoyed the comedy of this. The comedy for this is very innuendo and satire-like, so there is a couple moments where it does get slightly crass, but I still found it was very YA appropriate, if that's a good way to put that. It didn't go or cross any boundaries of what I think is inappropriate. It stayed pretty well much in the realm of a teen comedy. The characters were very well done for what we know of the historical people that these are based on, and I found that they were just very enjoyable characters and sometimes relatable characters. Lady Jane was a book nerd, and she adored her books, and I very much enjoyed that about her character. She is very much into books and facts and reading, and she thinks she has all the answers, and in some cases she did. As I said, the relationship between the characters were very well done, the banter, the wit. I found with 3 authors writing the same story was very cohesive and brought together, so everything just amalgamated together very well. Amalgamated? Blended? It was very well blended in together and very cohesive of a story. I don't own a lot of books that are done by multiple authors. I definitely don't have one that's done by 3 authors. So it's really interesting to watch how multiple authors put their take into a story. And I have a feeling, though, that all 3 of these authors have the same sense of humor. As for content was part of the reason why I was hesitant to bring it up. Some reviews had mentioned talk of consummating marriages and what that all implied. There is talk of that in here and kind of hints toward that and kind of those words and stuff people use to describe that without actually describing that. Like you'd have that mother-daughter talk and the mom would use different allegories of what that all would entail without actually telling the daughter what that all entails. So there's a little bit of that type of conversation in there, but like I said, it wasn't anything that kind of crossed the line of too inappropriate. But if you're wary of that type of content, just a heads up for that. And also the slight innuendos for kissing and, just guys attracted to girls and stuff. So there's a little bit of innuendo with that. The other content, to give a heads up, like I said, they threw a little bit of magic in here, so there's characters transforming and changing. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but when they transform back into human selves, they are naked, but it's more of a comedic twist of the awkwardness of being naked unexpectedly in front of somebody or having someone in front of you unexpectedly naked. So a lot of that comedic twist of strategically placing things, grabbing and trying to hang on to clothing, and just trying to stay decent in a time period where decency was kind of a big deal. But just so you're aware, there's those kinds of innuendos and conversations. Two characters actually do consummate a marriage, but they, like I said, it doesn't go into a lot of detail. And of course, the nudity and the comedy around that type of issues the characters had. As I said, I gave it a 4-star rating. It was laugh out loud funny. It was hysterical. The writing, the pacing was good. The disregard for English history was hilarious. The commentary from the authors in here was also very, very funny. And I just enjoyed the style of this book and how it was written. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the Lady Janie's books. As with any of my reviews, if you guys have any questions or concerns, feel free to leave those in the comments below, and I will answer them without spoiling the book for you guys. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!